Have you ever wondered whether the foods you eat every day are actually helping or harming your aging process? This is not just a casual question, my friends. It is one of the most important decisions you will make for your future health and vitality. As a doctor, I have witnessed firsthand how diet can be a powerful tool in slowing down the aging process. It is not just about feeling healthy today, but about making the right choices to protect your health and vitality in the years to come. If you care about longevity, like so many people do these days, you will want to watch this entire video, because I am going to show you exactly which foods you should eat, and which foods you should avoid to protect your body from the inside out. Numerous studies have shown that the foods we eat can directly impact our aging process. They can either accelerate this process, which you do not want, or slow it down, which is actually beneficial. This can affect everything from the health of our skin, our appearance, wrinkles, sagging, muscle strength, how healthy we are, and brain function. You know, where did I put my keys? I know exactly where I put my keys, you know what I mean. The truth is remarkable and empowering. What you put on your plate every single day can either speed up aging or significantly slow it down, giving you more years of healthy, vibrant living. This impact goes far beyond what we might expect. We are talking about everything from your skin health and appearance to your muscle strength, your ability to climb stairs or carry groceries, and your brain function and memory. Think about this for a moment. When you were young, you could probably stand on one foot like a tree, maybe even on a fence or a log, without any trouble. Try doing that when you are in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, and you will notice that your sense of balance has changed. This is partly due to changes in your brain, partly due to changes in your muscles, and partly due to changes in your nervous system. These are all signs of aging. Now, the last thing you want to do is risk aging faster than necessary. And by the way, the same processes like inflammation that accelerate your aging also put you at risk for chronic diseases, including diabetes, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and dementia. Clearly, if you want to live long, you need to avoid the diseases that would cause you to die too early or reduce your quality of life. Understanding the silent killers in our food. Before we talk about foods that help, let me share the dark side of ultra-processed foods. You know, those snacks you buy in the middle aisles of grocery stores, or at newsstands in airports, or at gas stations. These ultra-processed foods often contain factory-added ingredients called additives. And some additives are the bad guys when it comes to healthy aging. These include artificial colors, artificial flavors, artificial preservatives, artificial sweeteners, most artificial things, thickening agents, and of course, added sugars, which really burden our metabolism. Here is something else you might not have thought about. Not in sweet foods, but in salty or highly salted snack foods. Sodium is one of those silent killers because it actually raises our blood pressure, and over time, it can cause massive blood vessel damage that makes us susceptible to strokes and cardiovascular disease, as well as many other problems including kidney issues. So additives can accelerate aging while more natural, whole foods can actually slow down aging. Chapter 1. The Rainbow Connection. Colorful fruits and vegetables. The first thing I will tell you for healthier, more natural aging, and slowing down the aging process is to eat plenty of colorful fruits and vegetables. When I say colorful fruits and vegetables, I mean berries of many colors, bell peppers, fruits, apples, oranges, lemons and limes, grapes, stone fruits like peaches, pears, and plums. Think about it. You go to the produce market, and you see these huge piles of fruits and vegetables, like looking at a rainbow, like a colorful kaleidoscope. The natural substances that create the beautiful colors of fruits and vegetables, their diverse colors, are actually polyphenols. Polyphenols protect your body from aging stress, protect you from free radical damage that can harm your DNA, and protect you from inflammation. Stress, free radical damage, and inflammation are just three of the main drivers of premature aging. So when you eat a rainbow, you are actually fighting against some of the most important parts of the aging process. You are fighting stress, fighting damage to your DNA caused by free radicals and fighting inflammation. Researchers from China published in Frontiers in Nutrition that berries like strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries are especially good at reducing the type of oxidative stress that strains cells and accelerates aging. The berries reduce inflammation, and in fact, when they studied large populations, they found that people who consumed the most foods containing antioxidant polyphenols actually had the fewest obvious signs of aging. Their skin looked better, less aged, fewer wrinkles, and less sagging. When they compared people who ate berries with people who did not eat berries, they found that those who did not eat berries had more wrinkles and more sagging skin. This is really important because this is actually visible, you can actually see it. The bottom line is that foods rich in polyphenols and dietary fiber, these fruits and berries that contain dietary fiber, actually protect your DNA. They protect against cellular stress and reduce inflammation. As a result, they help protect your skin from the ravages of aging, improve elasticity, which is the stretchiness of your skin, and support healthy cellular turnover. What is cellular turnover? Well, it is new skin replacing your old skin. We all know that old skin does not look very good, right? New skin rejuvenates it. Have you ever had a facial or exfoliated your skin? You see all the stuff flaking off your skin, right? That is to reveal new skin and shed the old skin, so your skin looks fresher, fewer wrinkles, less sagging, more resilient. So how do you do this well? I recommend simply adding a handful of fresh berries to your daily breakfast, or if you eat oatmeal or yogurt, both of which are excellent foods. Oatmeal contains beta-glucan and lots of fiber that is good for your gut health. Yogurt is a probiotic food. I always eat full-fat yogurt. Add some berries to that. That is how to boost your polyphenols, starting right from the beginning of the day. Another thing you can do is nibble on a small piece of dark chocolate. How dark? Most studies show the darker the better. I say 85% or higher is quite dark, and that type of dark chocolate is a bit bitter. So here is my practical tip for you. Take a piece of really dark chocolate, and if it is too bitter for you, pair it with a cup of black coffee. Coffee plus chocolate equals mocha, so if you actually have coffee, which also slows aging, and dark chocolate, you can put the chocolate in there, or you can take cocoa powder, dark chocolate powder, stir it in, and now you have made yourself a mocha, or just eat them together. Take a sip of coffee, take a bite of chocolate, it works the same way, but the flavor is natural on your tongue rather than in the cup. Now, here is another practical tip. I recommend keeping a small bowl of mixed nuts around. Again, walnuts, pecans, almonds, cashews. I just made some roasted cashews and added some rosemary powder for extra flavor. And rosemary has rosmarinic acid, which also has anti-inflammatory and anti-aging cellular effects. When you eat some of those nuts, you are actually adding some healthy fats, you get plenty of fiber that feeds your gut microbiome, and inflammation goes down. You are actually fighting against the effects of aging. Chapter 2. The Brain, Protecting Power of Healthy Fats. My second tip for slowing down cellular aging is to incorporate healthy fats into your diet. And guess where some of the biggest benefits are? Right in your brain. You want a healthier brain, you want more healthy fats. So you might say, Doctor, are not all fats bad? Not really. Our bodies actually need fats, some fats, to actually survive. Healthy fats. Everything in moderation, but healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids that you can get from seafood, not just salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies, which have lots of good omega-3 second, but you can even get it from lighter white fish that do not look like they have oil, but they actually do. Halibut, sole, flounder, and even seafood like clams, mussels, squid, shrimp, lobster, and crab also have omega-3 second. They live in the ocean at the end of the day. They nibble on things that actually have marine plankton that contains omega-3 second, so they get some benefits, and when you eat those, you get the benefits. The key is that healthy fats lead to healthy brains as we age. As we get older, we want our brains to be really sharp. do not like seafood or cannot eat seafood or allergic to seafood. Are omega-3 supplements worth it? This is one of the few supplements that I think we might not get enough of from our whole food diet, so I am comfortable with actually supplementing omega-3 second. How do we know this is important? Well, at least when it comes to omega-3 second, researchers at Qingdao University in China actually did a study and published it in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. They found that omega-3 second, which are in foods like I mentioned, salmon, flax seeds, walnuts, can reduce inflammation in the body. By reducing inflammation, they fight against the ravages of aging. But they found that the protection really showed up in cognitive function, which is brain function, executive function. Here is what they did. The researchers looked at more than 100,000 people and found that those who ate more omega-3 second, regardless of source, were less likely to suffer from dementia or cognitive decline as they aged. This is really important. In fact, just increasing your daily omega-3 intake by taking a supplement every day reduced the risk of cognitive problems by 10%. This really reinforces the evidence that brain function is something we can nurture even as we age to fight against the ravages of aging. Most of us, when we think about very elderly people, might say, "Oh, I never want to become like that." Well, there are many older adults who have really sharp brain function, and those are the people you want to be like. And omega-3 second are actually one of the things that can help fight against dementia and cognitive decline. Now, I am both a scientist and a doctor, so I will tell you the questions I ask. How do omega-3 second work so well? It turns out omega-3 second reduce brain inflammation. Remember that inflammation is one of the hallmarks of aging. As we get older, we get more inflamed, so omega-3 second fight against that, and that seems to be the key to keeping our brains really sharp. Let me give you some practical tips about omega-3 second. As I said, you can eat seafood, all the lists I gave you, salmon, mackerel, or halibut, or sole, or shrimp, clams, mussels, and squid are all good. And by the way, it is not just good for the brain but also good for the heart. Omega-3 second are known to be beneficial for cardiovascular disease. They actually help your blood vessel lining, your endothelial cells. I study blood vessels, so I know a lot about the 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. Omega-3 second help keep the highways clear along those 60,000 miles of that journey. Every bit of oxygen we breathe, and every nutrient we eat, has to be transported through the highways and byways in your body. Omega-3 second help that process work really well. What is another healthy fat? I hinted at this earlier, extra virgin olive oil. Now there are some omega-3 second, some monounsaturated fats, and omega-3 second, all good for vascular health, all good for brain health. But extra virgin olive oil has polyphenols like hydroxytyrosol and oleuropein. Now these are super powerful anti-inflammatory polyphenols that can reduce inflammation everywhere in your body, including your brain. How much omega-3 should you eat? For fish, about the amount in a piece of fish the size of a deck of cards. What about extra virgin olive oil? About 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil is associated with better health, better aging, overall better organ health. You might say 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil sounds like a lot. If you go to the Mediterranean, and I took a gap year before medical school and lived in the Mediterranean in Italy and Greece, you can find dishes that are actually cooked with extra virgin olive oil. When you look at some recipes, you will see quite a bit of extra virgin olive oil used. And when you eat it at breakfast, lunch, dinner, it is quite easy to get 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now I always tell people if you are going to buy olive oil, buy the type with the highest amount of polyphenols. You may have heard me mention this before, but I will say it again. There are 3 types of olives used to make olive oil with the highest polyphenol content. There is a Spanish olive called Picual olive, very rich in polyphenols. Fortunately, it is a very popular olive in Spain. The second type in Italy is Coritina or Moriolo. Moriolo comes from Umbria, although you can find them in other olives throughout Italy, a bit less common, more expensive. And then in Greece, Greek olive oil, you look for olive oil made from Koroneiki olives. These come from the Peloponnese region in southern Greece. Between Picule olives, Moraiolo olives, and Koroneiki olives, these are the three olive varieties with extremely high levels of healthy, anti-inflammatory polyphenols, good for brain health, as we age to fight against that inflammation. Chapter 3. The Sugar Trap: How Sweet Foods Accelerate Aging. Now I have one more tip I want to share with you about helping fight against the effects of aging, and this tip is an avoidance measure, cutting back on or eliminating added sugars and many refined carbohydrates. Here is why. Added sugars like sugar you put in soda, 9 teaspoons of cane sugar in a regular can of soda, refined carbohydrates, really a lot of pure flour, for example, very common in Western diets. You find them in pasta, bread, pastries, and cookies, lots of snack foods. Here is the problem. Added sugars and refined carbohydrates, if you eat enough of them, can actually cause your body to form AGEs. AGE sounds like aging, right? It actually makes you age. Advanced glycation end products are basically tiny little polymers that your body will form if you consume too much carbohydrate and sugar. I am not talking about eating fruit. I am not talking about eating whole grains. I am not even talking about eating sourdough bread unless you eat a lot. I am talking about eating white bread and added sugars and drinking sodas. At some point, your body can become overwhelmed and start to form AGEs, and advanced glycation end products literally make you age. How do we know this clearly? Researchers from Dartmouth Medical School published a paper in Clinics in Dermatology and found that people who ate diets high in sugar and refined carbohydrates had high levels of AGEs in their blood when tested. So what are AGEs? What do AGEs do when they are running around in your body? They can damage proteins like collagen and elastin. Why am I mentioning collagen and elastin? Remember, we are talking about aging that you can actually see. The first place most people look is the skin. Your skin is supported by collagen and elastin. The elasticity of your face comes from elastin. So if AGEs from eating too much added sugar and refined carbohydrates damage collagen and elastin, guess what? Your skin will not maintain its elasticity as well. It will start to sag, and anywhere skin needs to be pulled tight, if you start to weaken the structure, it will start to fold in on itself. And now what do you have? You have a wrinkle. So, if you want your skin to stay firm and youthful, you really want to limit the number of AGEs your body will form. The best way to do this is to limit added sugars or refined carbohydrates. Studies have shown that people who actually eat a lot of added sugars and refined carbohydrates actually have more skin damage, early wrinkles, loss of skin elasticity, and skin sagging. But here is the good news. The same study found that if you reduce added sugars and reduce refined carbohydrates, you can actually slow down this process. So, if you want to slow down aging, this is not anti-aging, we all age, but this is actually more graceful, natural, and slower aging. You want to keep your skin looking healthier, more youthful, less aged, cut back on or eliminate added sugars, and be very careful with carbohydrates. So, what is the practical advice? There are many foods that actually have added sugars. Almost anything sweet that you buy, pre-packaged, ultra-processed, will have lots of added sugar. But added sugars sometimes hide in fruit juices. You think fruit juice is good for you. As I always say, please, if you are going to buy something, pick up the bottle and look at the ingredient label and see what is inside. If you see sugar right up front, that is added sugar, you do not want it. By the way, if you are going to buy drinks, buy them in glass. This is a small tip. Many beverages like drinks and fruit juices and things, and even water are packaged in plastic bottles. There is now research showing that these plastic containers actually leak tiny plastic particles into your bloodstream. You want to avoid that. If you like sweet things, skip the candy snacks and go for some berries. They will actually be really good for you. Conclusion: your path to graceful aging. One of the things I really want to emphasize is that we have talked about foods that can actually help you age slower and more gracefully. I hope this seems really reasonable to do, super easy to actually incorporate into your daily life. Cut back on or eliminate added sugars, eat some healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil or omega-3. Second, eat colorful foods. These are things you know, quite similar to things you already knew about health in general. I really wanted to bring it home for you when it comes to healthy aging. So let me just wrap up by telling you a few things. First, all of us age every day. Every day we are alive, we are aging. And it is not until the second half of life that we really start to see and feel the effects of aging. The foods we eat can actually work against the rate of aging and our understanding, therefore how we feel and how we look. So if you want to live long, live healthy, and look good all at the same time, what you want to do is extend your health span, not just add years to your life. Life is not just about longevity but about prosperity, about looking good, feeling good, having a sharp mind, as I mentioned to you. So nourish your body as you age purposefully, and remember that the choices you are making today are laying the foundation for how you will look, feel, and think in the years to come. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you know someone who would benefit from what you just heard, share the video with them. And with that, I look forward to sharing the next video with you.